Hi, I'm Lauren Paradise, one of the reference and instruction librarians. My email is lparadise01@manhattan.edu if you have any questions. In this video, we'll be covering how to search with databases, using keywords and filters to find the articles that you need for your topic. Before you start to search, it can be useful to brainstorm search terms, including variations of the key terms in your topic. You can't search databases the way you would Google. Instead of putting in full sentences or questions, you need to boil down your topic to just the keywords in it. If I want to know if educational television has a positive effect on preschool children's development, I can't type that in as a question because the search engine will look for effect, it will look for positive, it will look for other words in my question that are going to appear in plenty of articles that aren't actually going to be useful to me. So instead, I have to reduce my question down to just the key terms and brainstorm from there. For preschool children, educational television, and childhood development, I'll write down synonyms like toddler or TV instead of television, as well as preschool as one word instead of with a hyphen. As I start to read more scholarly literature about my topic, I'll also learn more about the academic terms that are used to discuss it, and can add those terms to my list. I'll write down related terms for my key terms like curriculum, or video, or socialization. Additionally, I'll want to have broader and narrower terms for some parts of my topic at the ready. For instance, development is pretty general. I might decide to focus on language acquisition and choose that term to narrow down my search. Or I might decide that preschool children is too narrow of an area for my topic, and I may decide to open it up to the more general term of children. I want to have those terms ready for if I start getting search results that are either way too many for me to really get a sense of the topic, in which case I will pick a narrower term, or way too few for me to base a paper on, in which case I will use one of my broader terms. In general, you'll probably want more recent articles on your topic, but sometimes you'll need a more specific time frame. If I know that I'm mostly interested in studies that look at educational television on mobile or smart devices, then I'll want to only look at articles from the last 10 years or so. If I want to talk about educational television only since the internet, then I'd probably just go with articles from the last 25 years. Lastly, I'll want some idea of how many of my terms I need to find together, if putting all of my terms into one search doesn't get me more than a few articles. I'll think on which articles that are only on part of my topic will still have something to offer to my paper. I may decide that articles about educational television and childhood development about other age groups could sometimes still be useful, in which case I would just use the search terms for those parts of my topic. I also may decide that articles on what educational television is available to preschool students in general won't be that useful to me if it's not about development, in which case I won't look for articles that leave out development when talking about preschoolers or educational television. Remember, this is a list that you create for yourself. It isn't set in stone, and you can change it as you figure out new terms that authors use to describe your topic, but it is something that you can reference if you get stuck. Now that we have some ideas for what key terms to use, let's get started using the Find Articles section of the English 110 LibGuide. Remember, this is at lib.manhattan.edu/English110 and select the page marked Find Articles. Let's start with JSTOR, which is in the Multidisciplinary Databases box. I'll begin with a few of my search terms: educational, television, preschool. When I do the search like that, without any punctuation, it says I have 6.3 thousand results. This is because without any quotation marks or search term operators like and or, it is just giving me all the articles that have any of these terms in any order. Putting quotation marks around words you only want to appear together, like educational television, will mean that you don't get results that just contain those words anywhere in the article, whether or not they are next to each other. Now I am only getting around 450 article results. Connecting terms with and, as well as putting quotation marks around any words you need to appear together, narrows your search. Let's say I'm concerned this is too narrow and I want to get articles that mention videos or television. I can change educational television to educational television or educational video. I want to put this in within parentheses so it knows to look for these two words as a unit. The parentheses just means that it is treating those two terms like they are in their own box. You'll see that now I am getting slightly more results from adding that related term. On the slides that the professor will give you, there are even more search tricks. Let's see what this search gets us by choosing the magnifying glass box. On the search results page, below the article information, there will be links to topics. It looks like educational television is a topic for articles that you can search in JSTOR if you are having problems seeing a lot of article results that aren't relevant to your topic. On the topics page, there's a description about what articles in this topic entail, and you can use the search bar in it to search within articles about educational television for other aspects of your topic. I'll do this for preschool. On the search results page, you can narrow down the publication date to a certain time frame. You can also choose journals only from a certain field. I'll choose to only look at journal articles from the last 10 years. Your search results page will reload with only the articles that match your new parameters. To see more about an article, select the link in the title. Before you read the article, take a look at the abstract. It's a paragraph at the beginning of the paper, or it can be on the left side of the page in JSTOR, or in the article detail page in other databases. It will give you an overview of what the paper covers. That way, before you read it, you'll know whether or not it pertains to your topic and your paper. Select the book icon. This allows you to see the other works that this article has referenced. If you are having trouble finding a lot of articles on your topic, you should see what the articles that are helpful to you have referenced. For instance, there are several in here that may be relevant to my topic. Select Download PDF to get the article if you think it will help you with your paper. One of our other multidisciplinary databases is ProQuest Central. You'll find the link to it on the Find Articles section of the English 110 Research Guide. ProQuest's interface lets you use multiple boxes very easily. So if I want to start my search as broadly as possible by including both educational television or educational videos, as well as preschool both with a dash or as one word, I can easily do that by placing them in separate boxes. Then I'll select Search. From this search results page, the first thing I'll change is to use this drop-down to show me the most relevant articles first rather than the most recent. Those will be the ones that mention my key terms the most. The left side of the search page gives me plenty of other options to use to take these results down to just the stuff that is the most useful. First, I can go to where it says Source Type and choose Scholarly Journals. I can also narrow down the publication date to just articles from the last 10 years using the sliding arrows. Also very useful is the subject filter. By selecting this drop-down and then the link for more options, I can choose which subject keywords I am getting articles for. I can choose to exclude computer and video games, and decide to make sure that the articles I get include students or preschool children. Then I'll choose the button for Apply. If I see an article title that looks interesting to me and it says full text at the bottom of the entry, that means I can get this article directly from this database. Click on the title to see more about the article. On this page, you can see the abstract. This will tell you what the article is about, so you can see more detail on if it will work for your paper or not. Select Download PDF to download a copy of the article. Or if you are on a different computer from your home computer and want to email it, select that button at the top and just enter in your email. and take note of the keywords associated with this article. You may decide to write some of them down as search terms to use later. Sometimes there will be a green box that says Find Full Text. That may mean that this article is not in this particular database, but select the box to see if it is in one of our other databases. In which case, you'll just need to select the link to the article that's in another database. Or it may take you to a link to request this article from Interlibrary Loan. This means we do not have access to this article with our databases, but that we can request it for you from another institution. Choose the link. If you have not already logged in, you'll need to do so. This is the same as a login to your email. It will push the article information over from the database. All you have to do is make sure that it is correct, select that you are an undergraduate from the drop-down, and create your request. You'll get an email confirming that you've made a request, and another when the electronic PDF is ready. Another feature that can be useful in ProQuest is the cited by and reference information for an article. These links that you see here are like being able to trace an article backwards into what articles the people who wrote it found useful, their references, and forwards into what later scholars have used this paper, or who it has been cited by. By selecting Cited By, you can see other articles in this database whose authors cited this one. If there is a link to the article, you can find it by choosing Full Text or Find Full Text. By selecting References, you can see other articles that this article's authors put on their reference page. Sometimes there is a link to the full text of the article. Other times, you may have to look it up in another database. Though it is more of a search engine than a database, a place you can look for these articles if they aren't in ProQuest is Google Scholar. You can get to Google Scholar by going to our databases page from the menu bar at the top of the site. Then choosing that you want to look at the databases beginning with G by selecting that letter. If you are off campus, you'll need to do it this way because that link lets you access all of our databases and articles through Google Scholar's search results. I've copied the article title from one of the references that sounded interesting, and I'll paste it into the search box. Because Scholar knows that I have access to Manhattan College's databases, it searched them. And once I verify that the author and publication title are the same for the article that it's found, I can click on Find Full Text to see the article from our databases. With the search results for the article, I can select where it says Cited By and see the other papers that have cited this one. This is a way that even if your initial few searches only find one or two articles that are relevant, that you can check and see who else is writing on this same topic by seeing who is referenced in those articles and who is citing them. We don't recommend you starting your search at Google Scholar because you can't do the same kind of specifying that you only want peer-reviewed sources or narrow down by subject the way you can in other databases. This is especially important in Scholar because items are ordered based on how often the links are clicked on, not how accurate or relevant they are. So you'll be missing a lot of articles that may be relevant because they may be on much later pages. You also won't be sure that you've really searched all of the journals that we have access to if you start your more general search here. Here are some basic tips that work across all of our databases. If you need both terms in your search, connect them with AND. If you have a term that has multiple meanings, like STEM as in STEM education, but not as a stem on a flower, and you don't want any botany articles, you can use the operator NOT. If one of your topic terms has a lot of synonyms, you can connect them with OR. Put quotation marks around words that you only want to appear together. Use the wildcard asterisks to get variations of the same word. It's like a bunch of blank tiles in Scrabble or Words with Friends. You'll be getting slides with this information on them. But please feel free to reach out to the library if you have any further questions after you have begun your search. We are here to help you.